Hello everyone, welcome back. So today I wanted to try a different approach at this, and I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just giving it a shot, and hopefully we come out with a result today, but I don't know if we're going to come out with a result because I don't know if this is going to work. Kind of trying to figure out how can we hack this together in a way that, is going to work for us. So my thought was, what if we try, let me make sure I pull down all the changes. Jekyll, serve. I noticed I get distracted a lot in these videos. I am terribly sorry. Not ADD, just rather unattentive. Okay, so the thought was, well, this currently opens up into another window, and currently I'm not running the server, so it's doing this, but what if we didn't open it in another window, but we actually opened it in this window, and just had this navigate to the new URL, and then have a piece of JavaScript or something in the return page of that URL send us to this site. It's a little different, and I have no idea if that's going to work. I have no idea if it's going to save the cookie. I don't know if the cookie is going to have access to this page, or this page is going to have access to the cookie. We will find out. But that's what I wanted to try today. So we will go to our workspace and then into our blog backend, and we need to do Rails S B O O O O. All right. So step number one is, I guess we'll start from the front instead of the back. And that means that when we click the button, we don't want to call window dot. Where did I put that code? Here, window.open. We don't want to call window.open, and we don't want to call our auth interval anymore. So we can just comment that out. And instead of calling window.open, we're actually going to navigate. So we will do basically location.href equals, and then we pass in the string. Alright, and then comment that out. So now the login function is literally just this. It's really simple. And what we hopefully should see is when we click on this button, the whole page should navigate. And then what we want is a piece of JavaScript that navigates us back. So I'm going to open up the network panel here and just get that prepared for us. And so we need to go back to our Rails application. And we're going to go into our app, views, home, and index, right? So you're now logged in here. Then what we secretly want to do is a script type text JavaScript that basically, well, we'll probably have a timeout and we'll wait a minute, but what I'm going to do right now is we're just going to go right through. So as soon as we hit this page, we're going to keep on going. And really all we need to do is the same thing. Location href equals and our URL, which is what, 127.0.0.1.4000 for the moment. Of course, in production that'll change to something else, but that's essentially what we want to do here. So really simple, but potentially it could work. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our thing here. We're going to reload this page, and I'm going to watch all this stuff that's happening down here. And I'm going to preserve the log, which then holds on to things even if the page changes. Because a lot of things are going to happen really quickly. And we're going to see if we catch a cookie and if the cookie's still available. So go here, and then we about blank. Why do we about blank? I don't know what it didn't like about that. Okay, so we'll go back, clear the log, refresh just for good measure, and we'll try it again. Okay, what happened? So authorize, callback, home, application, jQuery, jQuery 2.js, turbolinks, and application. Failed to load response data. Headers. Here's our index page. So we went to index, right? What happened? Okay, this is a tough one. Let's look at our resources. Do we have any cookies? No, of course, because we're not on a real page. We're at nothing. We're at about blank. Okay, why is the question. Why did this go there instead? So one of the things we can do is put in the keyword debugger, and what this is going to do is Chrome is going to catch that word and it's going to pop it up in the debugger down here, or that's how it should work. So we'll see if that actually happens. Yes, so we do in fact hit the debugger token, so now we can check and see what is going on here. So we'll say window location href, and what we should see is an actual property. Good. And then we change it to something else and it should navigate, but it appears that it's not. And finding out why is going to be very important for us. So somehow it got switched to about blank. Oh. Okay, this might be a really simple thing, or I could be completely wrong in my assumption. But what I think it is I need a, I need that. Is my thought. It doesn't see it as a valid URL. So, refresh, log in, we get put here, continue on, and bam, we're back here. Now, the question of the day is, do we have cookies? No. We have no cookies. Okay, another thing I wanted to try was trying to see if we could fake the cookies. I know we tried this before. Well, actually, I think I tried this. I did a little bit off the camera just to see if I could play around with it, like some stuff like this. But there's a property on this where you can go value is current user, and then domain. You can set the domain apparently, and I'm trying to set it to the domain of my thing. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Refresh the page. Log in with GitHub. Oh, I need to get rid of that debugger line. And look at our resources. And no, we don't have any cookies stored in here. We do have an error. Yeah, that's to be expected. Okay, well, there was another thought that I had, a trick, hopefully. Some way to, in a way, kind of hack the system really quickly and figure out if there was a way that I could link these two together and finally get this working. So what I needed to do was, first we need to remove this. And then this is going to error out if we don't do anything, so set that to current user for just the moment. And what was it that I wanted to do? We were going to send a token in with our request, and we were going to try to find a way to save it on the the object. So let's see, how do we overload or override Rails action? Okay, so just reading some of the stuff, trying to figure out if it's even possible to do this. Ah, that's right. I can do a before filter. Okay, so perfect. So what I'm going to try is doing a before action, and then I want to call a new function called save token. And what is the let's see, I need Rails before action. Just getting the syntax for it. Rescue from, defaults, parameters, cookies, response, reject, redirects, custom error pages. Before action require login only, and the thing that we need. So we'll do crap. Only only. And what's the action called? We can find that in our and this might not work. This might very well not work. But giving it a shot. Ooh, or I could not try this hacky way and I could do it a different way, which is still hacky, but it's not as hacky as trying to reroute devise and have it do something different. So basically right before I could do a oh, but that's not going to work. Crap. Yeah. Rails set cookie cross domain. Probably can't be done. How to set a cookie in a separate domain in Rails. As long as your server is setting a cookie within its own domain or from a subdomain of its domain, it just should work. It won't work for any other domains. Okay, so no, it's not. It's not going to work for what we want. OAuth Rails set Rails API send to static site? I don't know. Cores. Aha, this is that verify authenticity check. Okay. And then authenticate cores user. Request XHR not user signed in, must be logged in. The cores set access control headers filter provides the needed HTTP headers in the response from our server. In this example, we are using localhost as the foreign domain. This is the domain where I know cores. There's an additional filter called authenticate cores user. But I wasn't till now. Why do we need this? As you can see, simple JSON 401 response. Devise already does this. The problem, Devise does not include the cores headers in its response. By using this filter instead of Devise authentication, we send the cores headers in the 401 response and thus can react on this in the client. Should be settable via Warden. However, I did not manage getting this to work. Feel free to help me with. Finally, we have to set a route. And routes is simple. We just have to make sure that every request with the options method goes to the options action of the. Ooh, I just had another thought. Okay. Web client defines OAuth 2 providable client create. I wonder if this is kind of a interesting. Okay, so I'm going to try another approach, and that approach is basically going to be, why don't I call not the actual, but we'll call a new action called def auth or something, right? And basically we're going to params token basically what we want to redirect to our controller. Redirect to controller. Where is that? In config routes, and we want we'll just rake routes. And that is going to be devise OmniAuth callbacks, pass through, and pass in a provider. So, well, we could maybe use this. I'm assuming that's, and pass in the provider, which is GitHub. Okay, so let's give that a shot, right? So we go back to here and redirect to this URL with our, what was it called? Provider being GitHub, and then I'd like to also pass a the token. So params token, and I have no idea if this is going to work. Alright, so we'll give this a shot, and basically what I want to do is in our WebStorm, we want to run, instead of going here, we want to go to, well, we'll comment this out because we do want to save it though, in case we have to go back. And we'll set it to home auth. And then we will pass a token equals, and then basically our new key. So we can say new key and pass a token along. Cool. Simple enough. Now we give it a shot. So refresh the page, click login, and we get no route matches home auth. That's right, we didn't define it. So we need to go into our routes and create a get home auth. Home auth, and set that to home auth. And actually we could set token here. And we could just say auth token. So a couple shortcuts we could do, right? And so then we change this code to now use auth and the token. Cool. Alright, so we go back to here, refresh our page, grab the latest code, and then we're going to fire this through, and we get unexpected error, unexpected, expecting, probably doesn't like this. I probably need to pass it as a string. I was just going with the examples that it had. So we'll try passing it as a string. Oh, actually, GitHub. I wonder if it's more complaining about this, that I didn't pass it anything. And I don't think this is going to work. But if it does, then hallelujah. So refresh here, click the button, undefined method user OmniAuth authorized. Oh, that's right. I need underscore path or URL, either way. Okay, and refresh. No route matches, pass through, blah blah, token. Missing required keys, provider. We are providing a provider, but it thinks that it's missing, so maybe I should make that be a string instead. Oh, that's in here. Okay. So yeah, I'm just trying some things. Again, I didn't really expect to get much out of this today. I just figured I'd try some things, see if I could maybe find a pattern or some sort of way that made this work. Oh, and look, okay, so we did make it through and we made it back. Now the $1,000,000 question. Oh, we're not preserving. We are preserving the log. Well, no, we do want to preserve it. And okay, so the $1,000,000 question is, did that get sent back? So we sent to GitHub I got a code, a state, yeah, a code and a state. Response type code, scope, state. I'm assuming this state matches this state. FC16E, FC16E. That makes sense. Okay, so well, I wonder if there's a way we can hijack the state off of this. Probably not. There's probably nothing I can do. And that's kind of what I'm afraid of. And I don't want to make, my end goal is to really get like some sort of username down here. That's all I want. It's really simple. Just, hey, I'd like to see a username or something. Just your name. I don't need any sensitive information. Just what your username is, and then that way I know like who made the comment. So I'll probably, I don't know, I'll probably just build out the comments and let people, write their own name or something, because this is getting to be rather lengthy, and I'm not actually getting anywhere with this. The other thing that I thought about doing was maybe I could render some of that stuff from in like iframes or something. I mean, there are some ways to do this, and you know what? That might be a good experiment. Just does that work? If I put an iframe on the page somewhere, right? We'll go to the index, and we just put somewhere at the top an iframe that goes to is it href or source? Source. Basically, the URL of the "Are you authenticated?" I wonder if it sends across some of the information. So what am I looking for here? Oh, code. I can here in the controller. there is all this helpful, useful code here, including the one that I need, which is here. So if I just go here in my, what happens? I have no idea. Template is missing. I guess that makes sense. But I thought I was just sending back like missing template, home authenticated, application authenticated with local formats. Find all. Right. So what if I just place a template there? What does my Rails code look like for that method? Sorry, no, that's not it. Chrome, yes, nitrous. Okay, so if I go, here's authenticated, and I'm supposed to be rendering plain, render plain false. And return. And my route for that is authenticated. Let me make sure that the route is correct in my code here. Oh, iframe, which is here. Blah, 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 / authenticated. Okay, well let me try it with the change that I made to the controller. Nope, apparently it doesn't like that either. Alright, so 500 internal server error. Home authenticated, application authenticated. What? But I'm doing return. Strange, very strange. Okay, well, I might continue down this method a little bit. We'll see if we can't get something out of this. You know, if we can't get this page to actually deal with it, then maybe we can just send across a bunch of Rails views that will just pop into place and we'll just make it work, I guess. Not the best way, but it might work for us. And keeping everything in its correct domain and hopefully keeping everybody happy. So, yeah, so messing with OAuth, really hard to do. Yeah, if anybody does know a pattern for this or a way to accomplish kind of what I'm looking for, I'm not trying to break any security procedures. I mean, I probably am leaning that way, I guess, maybe by what I'm doing. It probably is going against the security procedures for very good reasons. And, you know, I don't want to break security reasons. If anybody has a complaint and says, look, don't do this because of this reason, please, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, otherwise, I'm just trying to get a simple little blog with just a little username and just, you know, just let people be people. Let them, yeah. All right. Well, I will see you guys next time, maybe with something working, and maybe I'll have a plan and we'll do it all together. All right. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.